and welcome to the Monday night edition of What the Fuck Tuesday. Remember, we're having it tonight because of New Year's Eve. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of people who forgot and didn't check their phones, and they're going to be like, dang it, I missed it. But nothing can be done about that because, me and Lady Boss, we want to get out and shake our tail tomorrow and have ourselves some fun. So we have to do the show tonight. But I'm glad all you guys could make it. I see a lot of the usual and customary folks here. So it's always good to see you. Oh, you saw the pop up? You did. Good for you. See, that's what I tell y'all. You need to have that instant notification bell, the instant notification bell thing, so that you could, get them pop up notifications. Every time I get ready to do this show, I start coughing. I think because my body already knows it's going to be talking a bunch of mess about a bunch of dusties. So let's see what we have for December 30th as I pull off my handy dandy cover sheet. We have a grand total of, hold on, that's a partial page. Wow, this letter must be long. Okay, 21 questions. 21 questions today. You rush from the grocery store, Diana? That's right. We need you guys here because, I really depend on you guys to point out stuff that I might have forgotten to mention. And sometimes you have a different perspective that might be very helpful, to the person who wrote the letter. So um, we want to, make sure that they can see the chat as well as hear what I have to say too. So let's get going. I don't have to keep you guys here for too long. Okay, this is a female in the 30 to 36 age group. She's out of New York. She says, "Hi, Deborah. I'd appreciate your take on this. I've had this boyfriend for 2 years. Only recently did I realize the meaning of a dusty and the mistakes women make setting their standards too low. I was a typical loving girlfriend, even though he was actually dogging me out. I put up with a lot since at the time I didn't know any better. While he was all selfish and whiny, all about himself, little bitch who had no problem hurting me. Then it came out that he was still talking to his ex who lives in another city, even planning to see her but too broke to do so. When I confronted it, all he did was blame shift and get mad at me. Stupid me made excuses for him till I finally woke up, but some damage to my heart was done. It was finally a wrap for me. He's trash, but I'm still angry and feel like revenge for him lying to me and the heartache he put me through. I can think of stuff to cause him a lot of embarrassment. He also left some clothes at my place. I could tell people I know about his true colors. He would hate that. But he's also very miserable about his life. He's broke. His job is treating him unfairly, and he's ready to lash out all the time. Is revenge ever a good idea? Because he surely deserves it, and it would make me feel better and not like a victim. Or is it sometimes too dangerous? Thank you. Well, you say that he's already having a hard time struggling and that he's already ready to lash out, quote, all the time, end quote. That would be like you poking an angry bear, okay? Now, you say that you didn't know any better at the time. But just like the video I just did the other day, after the first time, you got to start looking, okay, that fool you meet once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me thing. Okay, after these dudes dog you out the second time, I mean, didn't that be a clue? I mean, the first time I'm advocate for, but most people are gonna give the person a chance in case it was a screw up, in case or whatever. So you're gonna get that second time. Okay, by the time you get to the second or third time of someone hurting you and dogging you out and stuff, you should be done with him. Okay, so all this tough, keeping this nonsense going for 2 years, girlfriend, that's just the L you got to take. I know you feel like you didn't know any better, but I think you did because you knew that what he was doing was hurting you, and you knew that what he was doing was wrong. And so, at some point, way before the 2 years passed up, you knew he was on some bullshit, and yet you stayed. So, in the legal field, This is, we have to apportion responsibility. And in this case, he was throwing out BS and you was busy catching it. So you can't be mad at him for the whole thing. That would not be right because you shouldn't have been there to take it any longer. So he left some clothes at your house, whatever. Send him an email and tell him he has, till whatever day to make arrangements for you to give them to him or drop them off somewhere, whatever. And then after that, they're going to go to Goodwill. You can bring him to his job if you know where he works to do something like that. So you want to do whatever you can to mitigate any residual anger that this guy's going to have to lash out at you. Okay. So that's actually, if you know where he works, just take his stuff to his job and just leave it there with a security guard or whatever and just call it a wrap, and leave him alone. And in the future, when you see somebody mistreating you, disrespecting you, and everything, just like I just talked about, you don't the first time you get rid of them. There should be not no not even a month of this, let alone 2 years of it. So, like I said, you have to take some responsibility for that. Let's move on to question number 2. Yeah, revenge is just like that's just energy wasted. Haven't you wasted 2 years of your life already? Now you want to waste time chasing after him to get quote revenge? Leave that boy alone. Question number 2, female 56 to 65 and requested not to say where. Okay. I'm not here really to ask what to do. I already know. But dang, if this isn't a doozy in the dust bucket hall of infamy, people should know. I've attracted a male who's 3 times married, all of 50 years old, struggling in college where I have returned. He seems to have basic problems in basic math or cognition. He hawks and spits as a social from a small town affectation and assumes the people are who are turned off are wrong. We are in an academic setting. He assumes I'm in the worst shape and asks if I doused him with scalding water when I told him to go to the engineering department for refresher courses. He expresses his quote concern about my ability to study calculus and organic chemistry as if I were planning my own funeral. He also says my side gig and entertainment are things white people and do. And what do you do for fun? Like really is his insistent retort. Okay, so she goes and just talks about all this other stuff that's don't have nothing to do with nothing. Okay, he also offered me $50 reportedly to braid his hair. I'm disgusted. I have no desire to deal with him at all. He was shocked I turned down his little money. That disgusted me too. At semester's end, he made it a point to stroke my hand and tell me he'll be out of town to go live with his mother to save money 8 hours away. And then I should expect a big announcement in January. This is sick as hell, Deb. I didn't know there was such blatant eggnogery in the world. I am nauseated. He's loud and inflexible. I have a future on campus forming, and I don't want to have anything to do with him. He's backward social poison. He's already secure about me being his next smugly. I suppose I would appreciate some clout, some choice, precise words to put him off without a scene. You are good at that. This fool. Girl, I don't understand why you entertained him. I mean, everything that you said would have just made me, do the stiff arm and to dude. That's like, don't even talk to me. I don't know you. I ain't trying to know you. I want you to back away from me. Go and bother somebody else. That's me. I mean, I'm just very blunt like that. Bother someone else. Okay, just don't. I'm not interested. And that's what you're just going to have to tell him. I don't know what this big announcement is he's supposed to be thinking he's going to have with his dusty ass. But whatever it is, when he comes back, you need to have one consistent phrase for him. And that's all you say to him. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Whatever he says, whatever he talks about, whatever he wants you to do, whatever he says about himself, I'm not interested. And that's the only thing you say. Not hello, not good morning, not good night. How was your weekend? How are you? That's great. Oh, go over here and take these refresher courses, this and that. You're involving yourself in his life, and bitch, you turn around and telling me, well, I don't want anything to do with him. Then why are you having all this conversation with him? He knows too much about you. That means you told him. Okay, so this is just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you should feel nauseated because he sounds stupid, but you again, we got to portion responsibility here. You entertained him by once you found out he was dusty and hawking and spit. See, that's all you have is one time with something like that. I'm done. I don't care how smart you claim you are, how much money you have, nothing. You hawk and spit around me. It's a wrap. I mean, like that. And so, but you kept dealing with him. So, I don't know, but that would be my suggestion. I don't know how you got in this deep with this fool, but you're going to have to get yourself out of it by making it very clear that you're not interested in what he's talking about. No more conversation with him. Question number 3, female, 21 to 26, from Joliet. Is that how you pronounce that? Yeah, she put down a whole bunch of paragraphs, and I skipped a whole bunch of stuff because it was just ridiculous. All this stuff about this knucklehead man that ain't about nothing. It's like you just, too much conversation about him. This could have been a 5 paragraph, sentence letter. Deb, I go to this university. I'm doing all these wonderful things, period. I met a dusty man on campus who can barely read and, can't even do basic math. It seems like he has cognition issues. Plus, he hawks and spits, period. Okay, that's 2 sentences, right? He's going away to stay with his mother, and he says he's going to have a surprise when he gets back. That's 3 sentences. Deb, how can I get rid of this fool out of my life? I don't want anything to do with him. That's 4 sentences. That's all you had to write to me. And you wrote 2.5 pages full of bullshit about this man that you allegedly don't have no interest in. Yeah. This. Ugh. Okay. Question number 3. Okay, Juliet. My ex and I broke up in May of 2019, right before my birthday. It was his decision. He drained me on food, vacations, and shopping. He cheated on me I don't know how many times with men. What? Oh, it's been very rough for me. I'm in therapy, but it's not helping. We dated for 2 years. But why do I keep trying to catfish him so I can speak to him? I know it sounds weird, but I don't even know why I do it. It's like I'm trying to hurt myself even more, and I did nothing to him. That's why, because you in victim mode. You're in victim mode. You want to think that he did something to you, and so you are looking for some kind of way to feel okay about it instead of saying, this doesn't have anything to do with me. He did this because he's a sorry and sad fool. This sentence right here, and I did nothing to him. That is the key to it. You're feeling all kind of wounded and injured and victimized. That's just, I can't even think of another word. So you're angry. That's what it is. And so you want to keep talking to him so that you can, try to get some kind of, this magical closure that people be talking about. But you're never going to get it from him. And by the time you found out he cheated on you the first time, especially with a man, what were you doing to stay with him? What sense does that make? So, a lot of your anger, I would imagine, is probably at yourself for being so like desperate and stuff that you want to hang on to a dude who likes other dudes. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And if your therapy's not helping, get you a different therapist. Get you a black therapist. Get you somebody who's gonna talk to you like real hardcore, and not somebody who's gonna dance around just so they can bill your insurance company for session after session after session. You need somebody like me that's gonna dig in your ass because this is some ridiculous nonsense. You need somebody to tell you about yourself so you can stop feeling sorry for yourself and get on the road to making some better decisions and taking better care of yourself. Well, yes, you could get tested. That would be a good thing to know. So if you got something, you could definitely start on some medication. But, she said May, so most likely she's already handled that. This is December. You know what I mean? So that would be kind of, to me, that's like a moot point, not even worth mentioning. But his thing is, he's dealing with dudes and dabbling with dudes and stuff, and you notice and you still chipping with him? I'm telling you. Yeah, there's no such thing as closure. I don't even understand it. I did a whole video on it, and my position is that it doesn't exist, and that whatever this magical closure is, people don't read about it in Harlequin, some Danielle Steele novel or something, or saw it on some soap opera or something, and so now everybody want to have closure, but it's like you give closure to yourself. So this chasing around him and trying to, catfish him and some shit. You need a job, a hobby, something intelligent to do with your time, because this is silly. It's self-defeating and it's ridiculous. Man, if I was your mother, I'd be kicking your ass right about now. This is ridiculous. You ought to be happy he broke up with you because he had more enough sense to know he want men more than he wanted you, and you should have made that determination. That shouldn't have been left up to him. As soon as you found out he was dabbing on the other side of the fence, you were supposed to drop him like he was a lava rock. Okay, that means this that fast. Question number 4. You got you some LaCroix? I have some Pinot Noir. Peanut Noir. Yeah, tonight was gonna be my Hennessy, but I have to drive. I have to go to my cousin's house tonight. So I was like, I'm not trying to be arrested under DUI. That might not be a good look. I don't think I would look good in that kind of jewelry, that kind of bracelet set. So I'm like, we'll wait. We're gonna wait till the day when I don't have to go anywhere. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. This is number 4 of 21 if you just gotten here. This is from a young woman in the 30 to 36 age group from Maryland. Okay, my brother bought a new house and has been super pressed about hosting Christmas. Me, my husband, and infant son were supposed to stay with him for 5 days, and about 15 relatives would do Christmas at his house. At the last minute, he drops that his in laws will stay the week too. My brother and his partner have been together for nearly 20 years, but I've never met the in laws before. As soon as I met the father in law, I remember something my brother told me about him over a decade ago. Nosy as I am, my spidey senses start tingling now that I have Dude's full name. As soon as it's time to go to bed, I'll fire up Google. Tell me why the father in law is on the sex offender list. This man is a pedo who served almost 20 years in prison for felony assault on several children. He got off on probation 5 years ago. I do some more digging and find out one victim was his own damn child. Oh, and your brother had this dude up in his house? Your brother is tripping. I am fucking horrified and livid that my own fucking brother would not only invite my child to be in the house with a convicted pedophile for a week, but not tell me about it and invite him to Christmas where several children will be. Never in 1 million years would I expect this from my brother. I was ready to burn the whole place down. It's 2 days before Christmas, so every hotel is booked except a Roach Motel. I start calling around a local family to see if we can stay the night elsewhere. Why are these fools telling me, sorry, we're full, and trying to convince me to stay at my brother's house because they want to see the baby for his first Christmas? At this point, it's 2 a.m. My husband says we should get some sleep and leave first thing in the morning. The baby slept in our bed all night. I know that's right. Soon as daylight broke, we were out that bitch like flash at 6 a.m. When other family members found out we were headed back home, suddenly they had room for my family to stay. Why are several members mad at me for ruining Christmas and tried all day to guilt us to go back and have Christmas with this pedo so we wouldn't deprive our family of the baby or deprive our baby of Christmas? That part was in quotes. Bitch, fuck Christmas. I like her. One family member even tried to lure us with Christmas toys. Keep your fucking toys. Another told me I was trying to punish the pedo and my extended family. No, bitch, I'm trying to keep my child safe. I'ma always pick my child's safety above a damn holiday toys and everyone's feelings. If Jesus Christ himself were there, I would tell him I have to catch him another time on the other side of the mountain. I love this woman. So my child's first Christmas was spent without family after traveling several hours to see these selfish ass people. I can't wait to get back home. Tell me I'm not crazy for reaction to this name. No, girl, you was like, I wish every mother had your sense of protectiveness of her child and the other children. And those people who bringing their kids into an environment where this man is going to be at night, where the kids are sleeping, probably in another room, unprotected by any adult. So he just wander his ass in there. They're in the bathroom. He just wander his ass in there. They playing over there somewhere on the stairs. He just wander his ass over there. No, I'm with you 159.75%. You did the exact right thing, and I'm glad your husband supported you and that you were thinking about your baby. You're not thinking about them at all. I don't know what she didn't. She just says that they left, So yeah, they must have known because they were mad at her for for leaving and all of this stuff. But she just said she's trying to keep her child safe, and so. But they feel like, well, he already served his time. Now, for some crimes, that's true. You served your time, you don't do it again. Okay, but the thing with children, though, and any kind of person who assaults other people is they never really heal. They never get over it. They never change. They're always like that. They always have that urge. And so to put your child in a situation with somebody, and you know it was proven because he got 20 something years for it. Okay, they're not gonna just put you in jail on a whim. They had evidence. Okay, and dude did 20 years and 5 years probation. So what is the brother thinking? Oh no, he would have to get cussed out. He would have to get cussed out, and anybody who tried to manipulate me into having my child in a situation like that would get cussed out. And I would tell them, "All stay away from me, stay away from my kid. You trying to side with a pedo, with a proven, somebody who's on the sex offenders list, and you think that that person, I'm supposed to like, do anything to make that person feel better and you feel better because he's there? Nah, we'll come when he ain't there. That's what we'll do. As long as he's around, we're not coming anywhere. My kids not, and I suggest you get yours and get out too. And when you go to, I hope they watch them kids on Christmas, just like I was warning you guys the other day. People having them family events, and all them kids just running around, running around, running around, and you got friends of friends, and here go your brother's buddies, and your uncle that your auntie is got with, and her new boyfriend, and all these motherfuckers in the house that you don't know nothing about, and you got all these kids running around, running around, running around, unprotected and unsupervised. Because you feel like it's a safe environment. I done told y'all that's where most of this bullshit happens. And it don't take hours for somebody to do something to your kid. It takes like 30 seconds to fuck them up. So y'all, this I'm glad she was on it. I mean, this chick, I'm telling you, I love her, and I just wish we could clone her sense of protectiveness over her child and just spray it all over the world, so every woman would have that attitude. It would be so fabulous for the kids. Question number 5. This is a young woman in the 21 to 26 age group, of Oakland homegirl. So I was dating this guy, as in not official, just a couple of dates and in the quote talking stage, she says. We had unprotected eggplant and now I am pregnant. A few weeks into being pregnant, he decided to ask me to be his girlfriend and I agreed. He treats me well when it pertains to my health because I am pregnant. But after learning that I am pregnant, he treats me more like a friend. I am ignored when it comes to having regular conversations, and we no longer hang out very much. If it doesn't pertain to the baby, then we don't really talk. I appreciate him willing to step up as a father. He comes to all my appointments and checks up on me, and I know that is a form of caring, which I am appreciative of. But when I approached him about not acting like a boyfriend and no longer seeing me as an individual, but just as a person that is carrying his child, he came out and said that he, quote, felt as though it was not his responsibility to date me, even though no, he felt as though it was his responsibility to date me, even though he is not ready for a relationship and does not have deep feelings for me, end quote. I find myself not being able to properly get over him because obviously I'm still in contact with him because of the child. What is some advice to get over this? Not many people step up to the folly role, and I can't see myself telling him not to come up to appointments or anything because I need healing space and I'm extra emotional because of hormones, because the child is just as much his as it is mine. No, it's not. You're stupid. Okay, this is just retarded. You don't even know this man, and here you are pregnant having a baby. What was wrong with you? Why did you not take your ass down to the pharmacy and get a plan B? You right here in Oakland, so I know how you could have hopped your happy ass over to Planned Parenthood and made the magic happen. You also could have got an abortion. It might not be too late. I don't know how far along you are. There's no way in this world you should be bringing a baby into this hot mess. And you want to be talking about he's not treating you like a girlfriend. When did he ever treat you like one? All you all did was have sex and then you got pregnant. Where was your birth control at? See, this makes no sense, and this is stupid, and this is why there's so much drama in the black community, irresponsibility on both of your parts. So now the one who's going to suffer is the kid, because they're going to have a dumb mama and a dumb daddy. And, just like you trying to grasp at straws and try to keep a man around, and he's trying to get, he's trying to do what he needs to do responsibility-wise, but he's not trying to be with you. And he straight told you that he wasn't with you when you got pregnant. So why you magically expect because you decided to keep a baby by some dusty man that you barely know that is supposed to change his life? Man, if he was my son, I'd tell him, don't you do shit. Tell her, wait until that damn baby gets born, and then you're going to take your ass down there and put yourself on child support, and that's what you're going to do. But, all this stuff you trying to do, trying to make a relationship and stuff, that shit wouldn't be happening. I swear, I would send my son somewhere, but he wouldn't be dealing with you. No, he sure wouldn't. This don't make no sense. And we have people who's this dumb. You don't have the sense to be somebody's mother. I hate to tell you. This is just gross irresponsibility. And we have somebody who's irresponsible like this and this young and silly, you're going to have some problems being a responsible parent. You're not ready. He at least knows he's not ready and flat out told you. But you trying to force him into being ready by complaining and talking about it's just as much his child as mine. No, that was a decision that you made. Yes, he's gonna have to pay for it under the law and all of that stuff. But to take care of you, he is under no obligation to do that at all. Only the child. So your expectations here are misplaced. You better grow up. It's time to hit it real quick. Get you a good job. Make some shit happen because you're about to be a single mama for the next 20 years. Question number 6, female, 30 to 36, Washington, D.C. Hey, Deb. So I'll get straight to the BS. I had an off and on again relationship with an ex. I'm 30, he's 36. We spent a trip today together for my birthday. In the hotel, he took a video of me that I did not approve of, undressed. When I saw him with his phone in hand and tried to snatch it, I told him to delete it, but he never did. Girl, you were supposed to wait till that motherfucker went to sleep and delete it yourself. Eventually, we broke up again, and a month later, he was trying to get back together. I put my foot in my mouth by cursing him out and spilling the tea that while living together the month prior in his condo, I saw old letters from the mother of his child, and that he talks all this narcissistic shit about her still being in love with him, but truly, he let his family down and ran over her with his past behaviors, and he's still the same piece of shit now as he was in our relationship. Well, he was steamy when I took it there. Long story short, the same night of our fight in retaliation, he put a picture still of that video he took weeks before and put it on Instagram under a fake page. He proceeded to tag me and follow my boss and coworkers and anyone he could that had my same last name, hoping it would be family. I was mortified and heated. I have tried to move on by doing better with my decisions and choices in men, but I still want justice for what he did to me. I submitted all the evidence to the police when it happened, and they did absolutely nothing. Never even followed back about the case. Is there anything you would suggest? Is this just an L I have to take and move on? Thanks for your time. I don't know much about what's going on in where are you? Washington D.C. I don't know what kind of laws they have there or if you just on the federal tip. But I would contact one of those women's rights kind of groups, the battered woman, abused woman type of things, or some female officers that deal with assaults connected with the police station, and ask them, because you just report it as a general crime. Those men are just like, yeah, whatever. We dealing with gunshots and abductions and sex trafficking and stuff, and you come in here telling about a picture online. So to them, that's not a priority. So you need to go to a female and somebody who deals with like sex crimes and stuff like that and talk to them. That's what I would start there. And then they can at least tell you what the legal rights you have on in a situation like this in the District of Columbia, because I don't know. I'm in California. I have no clue what's out there. But I would definitely and check the stream here. They have some ideas. I'm sure some of these ladies probably live in that area, you know. And but that's where I would start to see what your legal rights are. And yeah, that's what I was saying. They have those, the victim. Well, I didn't call it a victim's advocate. I just called it like those women's groups that deal with people who have been assaulted and these kind of things. But that is the correct term for it. And but I would start there and see what they have to say. What a knucklehead. Man, too bad you didn't have some pictures of his little dinky winky and put that up. Have you ever seen anything so small on a grown man? Let me tell you about how long he lasted. It took me longer to say that sentence than it does for him. That's how fast everything is over. I would clown his ass into oblivion. But that's just me. But I think for you the best way is the D is well, see, but that's gonna cost her money, And it's like if she doesn't, yeah, it is in California. That's what I'm saying. But she's in Washington. She's in District of Columbia. So I don't know what the laws are there. The laws, California tends to be more of a trendsetter in good stuff as well as stupid stuff. But I don't know. And I'm not trying to, give legal advice. I'm pointing you in the direction of some people who can, though. So you do that. All right. Question number 7, female 26 to 29 in Philadelphia. I've been with my boyfriend for about a year now. When we started dating, I made it clear that I didn't like the fact he spent nights at his baby mama house. I really thought he understood how uncomfortable it made me feel, like she was not over him and blamed me for them not being together. Even though he said they was finished before we ever started, she doesn't like the fact that we are in a relationship. Okay, so you've been with him for a year. You made it clear that you didn't like this, yet you stayed with him. Why did you do that? I can already see where this is going. This is going down the road of some bullshit. However, a year later, it's his son's birthday, the first one we've had to deal with as a proper couple. I knew what I was getting myself into. Well, at least I thought I did. I know his son will always come first, and I know spending time with him is important as we live 2 hours away in another city. That's not that far. Even though I don't like him going to her house, I know compromises have to be made. He goes there and spends days with him and then comes home at night. We live with my mom, so he doesn't feel comfortable bringing him to our house. That's bullshit. I'm not sure if he thinks my family wouldn't approve or just because he knows she wouldn't. Either way, I've accepted the fact that he spent time with his son at her house. But I think spending the night there is a step too far. I'm not sure if I can ever be comfortable with that. For his son's birthday, he wants to spend 2 nights at the baby mama's house. He says it's because he wants to bring in his son's birthday and be there for the morning to do breakfast and the present. And he doesn't want to leave the night of his son's birthday. I don't know if I'm being unreasonable for being upset. His son is turning 2, so he will be sleeping at midnight into his birthday. So I don't understand why he couldn't go to her house early in the morning for presents and breakfast. I would think she should want to wait for him to open presents if he gets there early. And again, staying there for his birthday after he's gone to sleep makes no sense to me. Am I looking too much into the logistics of why he wants to stay there? Am I being selfish as his son's birthday? No, you're being stupid. You're being stupid because he been fooling with this woman the entire time, right under your nose. So she's not going to complain because even though he's supposed to have this other girlfriend, he still tips with her. So, a lot of women, they feel like, well, he might be with you, but he come over here and he be with me. So they have that kind of attitude, like they're in competition for some old raggedy ass man. So that's why she's not complaining at all because she's getting what she wants. He's over there all the time. So what I would suggest is when he comes back from his little trip or even before he goes, you tell him to take all his stuff with him and go back over there because that's where he needs to be. Yeah, I don't know. She didn't like it in the beginning, but yet she stayed with it. Stayed with him. See, if I come in a situation and right out the gate or some shit I don't like, I'm not gonna be with you. I don't want to deal with no baby mama. And you think you're gonna be sitting over there going to spending the night and all that kind of stuff? No, we're not doing that. We're not gonna do that. You're gonna go over there and you're gonna get out of my face. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, he doing too much. And he just being real blatant with it too. And you up there, am I being selfish? Girl, you need to slap yourself. You being dumb. That's what you being. Question number 8. Female, 26 to 29 from Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie. I don't know how you pronounce it. My question is about parents convincing children to buy them homes. I have a friend who's in this very position. She just finally got a job in her field and lives with her parents. They have come to the conclusion that she will purchase a home for them, the parents, her siblings, and extended family members, all to live in. Basically, her parents would be, quote, responsible for the majority of the bills, but she would have the house in her name because she's the one with decent credit. My problem with this, colon. Number one, she cannot afford to pay all the bills if something happened to them. Number two, they have not saved any money for a down payment. Number three, she is under 27, has never been on her own. Number four, they are grown, married, and healthy. Why would you put your child in that position? Number five, none of them know anything about home buying. And number six, her credit is just okay. Not great or excellent enough to get a decent interest rate. Well, plus, if she just started working, she don't have no money for down payment and closing costs and all that stuff. I want to mind my business, but I feel bad. You just can't tell someone about their parents. Should I say anything or at least help her find a deal that won't completely ruin her finances? No, if this is really your friend, you're supposed to give her a reality check. And you're supposed to look at her income and look at how much a house note would be and how much they want for a down payment and what could happen to her. I mean, I don't understand why these people who are adults are looking at somebody who's not even 27 years old to take care of them and put them in a house. It's all them able-bodied adults together, extended family, the two parents and siblings, and they can't get the money together to buy their own house. She need to just learn how to say no. No, I'm not doing that. If you guys want a house, get all your money together and make it happen. I'm not doing that. I'm just starting out in my life and I don't want to get in no $300,000 worth of debt for a house for you. You should have handled that as adults. You should have made that happen. I just got out of school. I got student loans to pay and shit. I don't have no money for that. Kens and B, I'm telling you, for the last couple of weeks, we just had story after story about dusty parents, dusty siblings, everybody just dusty. She cares because that's her friend, Hamilton. You must not have had no good friends because you care about your friends. When you see you get ready to get fucked over, whether it's by their mother or anybody else, you'll see somebody's getting ready to fuck over your friend, you're supposed to say something. If you don't say nothing, then you a bitch. Okay? You just a bitch ass friend and you ain't about shit. That's what that means. So don't talk like that. She should care. Anybody who's somebody's friend should care. I mean, you know what I mean? That's some bullshit. You got a friend, you just gonna let them be guilt tripped and manipulated and coerced into some bullshit and you don't say nothing? So then later they can't deny them. So you should have told me. I didn't understand. If you saw this clearly, why didn't you say something to me to like pull my coat or something? Even if she doesn't listen to you, even if the guilt is too heavy, the burden of the alliance to her family too strong, it's too many of them, and it's only one of her, whatever. At least she got you. You her friend. At least she got one person on her team. One person got her back. That's what a true friend does. You don't let your friend get caught up in some bullshit all by herself, and you all see it's like a whole gang of folks beating her over the head and guilt tripping her. No. Shit. I'll tell you what, if it was my friend, I'd probably be over there talking to her dusty ass family for her. Like, what you motherfuckers trying to do? You leave that girl alone. That's how I am, though. I stick my nose in folks' business. But, I can see where she's so young, you know. She's so young and she's living there. The first step is going to be for her to move out. She needs to move out. She needs to move out and move. She could get like a, share place with a friend or something now that she got a little job. They could split the rent, a 2-bedroom place. Split the cable, split the PG&E, split the water bill, split the groceries, and she would be on her own away from them and then, be on her way to moving into her adult life. But she needs some help, and she needs somebody in her corner, somebody who got her back, who by her side, helping her. That's what she needs. You can't be just turning your back on your friends like that. I don't give a fuck if it's her parents. There's some raggedy ass motherfuckers, all of them. Everybody in that house is raggedy. All them relatives and stuff, and them raggedy ass parents. Female, this is question number 9. Female, 37 to 45, out of Atlanta. A distant relative that I haven't seen in 20 plus years reached out to me about taking 2 of her 5 kids. 5? Her mother had 1 since he was a baby, and the other 2 are with their dads. I said no, because the mere thought of dealing with her batshit crazy ass is too much. Furthermore, I'm divorced and my 2 kids are grown. I have no desire to be tied down to elementary school kids and not my own for the next 10 plus years. But a social worker left me a voicemail saying the kids have been removed from her home and placed in foster care and now up for adoption, which is likely why she reached out. She gave the state my name as a possible adoptive parent. I said, hell no, and went on about my business. Didn't even call the woman back. In the meantime, my elderly parents in their 80s are trying to get the kids, obviously, to keep them in the family because that's what we black folk do. My sister was denied because of her insane work hours. My brother also tried, but he lives abroad, so they wouldn't even entertain him. He tried to, though, and is even looking for ways to uproot his 25-year life, family, and career abroad to come adopt these kids he doesn't know anything more about than I do. Although 2 summers ago she reached out to my brother to take them for the summer, he flew them to Europe where he lives. Then he flew them back to the U.S. To pack them up and take them back to his family for a few weeks. Was posting videos and pictures of the fun they were having on SM. They were being well taken care of. This chick harassed him so badly. Really? So she was mad because her kids was doing well and having a good time. International police were called by her claiming that he was abusing them. Lie. Fortunately, they quickly determined her call was full of lies. The thing I never understood about these pregnancies is that she kept having kids when she clearly didn't want them. Wow. Okay, I'll skip all that because that's irrelevant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want the kids because I don't want to deal with her. But I figured if they were legally adopted, she wouldn't have a right to bother me or the kids. But her mentally ill acting ass has never cared about what's legal or morally correct. The mother's craziness is what kept me away from her and her kids all these years. I don't do crazy. But now I'm wondering if maybe I should stop being selfish and take the kids in. I've heard that they're very sweet, intelligent, and mannerable, and they'll probably be easy to raise, but I feel entitled to my freedom like I've earned this. Should I give in or what? No. And I know people are gonna be mad. They're gonna be like, but that's family. I gives no fucks because of this. Now, your brother is sound like he got way more financially capable and everything to handle the 2 kids. He wants the 2 kids. All he has to do is get an attorney. He can get the 2 kids, and kids go live in Europe with him. It happens all the time. If they, we already know him and all this and everything else. They don't know you. You don't know them. At least they know him. They know the environment over there. They was there for him for weeks. So you should be assisting him and helping him make that happen. Okay. As far as you being local, see, your sister could still get to you. And so that would be a problem. And like I said, you already had a negative history with her. Why would you want to put yourself in that position? See, my thing is this, and I know people be like, that's hardcore and this and that. But my thing is this: your fuck ups don't have shit to do with me. You want to have 5 or 6, 17 kids? That's on you. I don't have nothing to do with that. Where's their motherfucking daddy? Where's that nigga? Let him go and deal with his kids. Okay, like there shouldn't be any adoption and all this stuff going on. They should be with their daddy. And if they can't be with him, then the next person who's logical, who has the financial wherewithal to handle the raising 2 children are not his own, is your brother. So that's what you do. You work with your brother and y'all figure out how to make that happen. Okay? And then keep that raggedy ass sister out your life. And I know that sounds cool. People be like, how can you do that? They're just children. See, children are often used as a tool by manipulative narcs to wage war on people. Having seen that happen myself, the narc husbands do it when they separate from the wife. They want to fight her for custody. They want to fight about everything. And they just want to, they use it as a tool to wage war. That sounds exactly what this woman was doing to the brother when he had the kids. But if he adopts her, she won't be able to do that. She won't have a legal leg to stand on. Yeah, I would, that mother, mm-mm. All right, let's move on to question number 10. Female 30 to 36 out of Virginia. My 25-year-old sister has recently gotten with a dusty dude whose red flags are jumping leaps and bounds in the month that they've been together. He's an ex-convict. He went to jail for fooling with an underage girl. What is all this pedo stuff going on? He's already yelling at my sister, monitoring her phone. He gets angry quickly, can't keep a job, and recently kicked her out of his apartment, which he insisted she move in, because he was mad at his mother. Whenever my family and I try to talk to her, he's always there and she doesn't have much to say. She's also answering our calls less and less. He admitted to my mom if my sister left him, he'd be homeless. My sister asked for gas money a couple of days ago so she could take him to go see his family for the holidays. We told her no, and she got mad at us. We're very worried about her well-being and how fast this is escalating. Our family keeps trying to get through to her, but she isn't listening. From observation, my sister's the type that always needs to be in a relationship and moves in fast with a guy. I told her it was all right to be single, but she got upset at me. Miss Dan, what is your advice for the families that have to watch their loved ones in an abusive relationship? Thank you for any advice. There's nothing you can do. She's an adult. If she were minor, you'd have some, you'd have a leg to stand on. But she's an adult. There's nothing you can do until she reaches off out to you. Yeah, until she reaches out to you guys for help, there's nothing you can do here. And it's only been a month and all this drama's already happening. I mean, if he beats her or something, then you can intervene by calling the police because now it's an assault, now it's a criminal case, and then he will go to jail. But then a lot of women in situations like that, they don't want to press charges. That's why some states are enacting this thing. You don't have to press charges because they know a lot of women are intimidated or have this Stockholm syndrome or whatever. So the state will proceed with pressing the charges. You don't have to. You're out of the equation. They take a picture of your bruises, broken bones, and busted lip and black eyes and stuff, and then that's all they care about. They press the charges on your behalf. So I don't know, Virginia. I don't know what their rules are about that, but until she reaches out, until she's had enough, there's nothing much you can do. The only thing, since she doesn't really even want to talk to you, and he probably monitors the mail and everything else. You could try sending her a text or email or something to see if she can get that. Just tell her if she needs help to let you guys know. But other than that, she's made her choice and she's going to have to live with it, you know. So that's my thing. It would be like I would let her know that I will be there for her if and when she reaches out her hand for it. But as an adult, she's fully entitled to fuck up her life in every way she wants to. And there's nothing you, your family, your parents, nobody can do about it. Like I said, unless he does a criminal act. But a lot of times these girls, are the ones that end up dead. Y'all be the next time you see her, I hate to say it, but the next time you see her, she be in a body bag and shit. Because they just can't let go of the dust. I don't understand it. I don't even like a dude yelling at me. You call me out my name, I'm done. You yell at me, I'm done. So, this kind of stuff, it's just like I can't even comprehend somebody trying to do me like that. That just like Will Robinson does not compute. Okay, let's move on. Question number 11. We got 11 to 21 questions tonight, everybody. This is a young woman in the 21 to 26 age group from Plano, Texas. She says, my boyfriend of close to 3 years is calling me a dumb bitch as a joke when I don't give him what he wanted. I would tell him that I don't like what he's doing and he would still do it. However, when I started to raise my voice and make a point of my dislike to him, he would call me a dumb bitch. Okay, okay. Whew, this stuff just gets on my nerves. Okay, he did that the first time and you told him you didn't like it. He did it the second time. You were supposed to leave him. Because you told him the first time, that means he's supposed to cease and desist with any such things of that nature. He opts to do it again and again and again and again and again, and yet you stay. You notice that? You stay. Okay, so what happens when y'all stay? I'm going to get to the rest of your letter in a minute, but I have to just go here right now before I forget. What happens when they mistreat you and verbally and emotionally abuse you and you stay? What happens? What you're doing then is you're teaching them that that's okay. You're teaching them that you're going to accept it. You kick up a little dust, but you don't really do shit. You don't go nowhere. You don't punch him in the face with anything, bust a chair over his head, stab him. You don't do any of those things. You just sit there and be, mouthing off about, I don't like that. And he's like, yeah, okay, but I do. And then he does it some more. And you still stay. Hmm. Yeah, it's like it's abuse. These girls, I don't know. I don't understand it. It's like all these relationships has all these different levels of abuse in them, and these girls just stay in the relationship. I mean, really, judging by this kind of, the letters that come in, and not just here, but everywhere. All the different advice columns and stuff, books about it, elders and stuff. It's like abusive men are the majority. And if no woman was with these men, then it would be like 90% of women would be single and happy as fuck because they would not be dealing with these dusty ass, controlling, evil hearted, name calling, abusive men. They would be single dudes because nobody would want them because they act stupid. But yet, you guys get with them and yet you stay. So let me continue. Just today, she writes, he called me a quote crazy woman because I wanted to go out for a long time after an unhappy conversation with him. We had a wire that was lost, and he immediately asked me where is and asked me where I kept it. He proceeded to say, of course, he would say it's my fault because I'm a messy girl. So I got upset at that. He said, I'm to blame for everything. When I walked out, he said, I'm a crazy woman. Later on, when he called me, he said that I'm making a big fuss out of a small thing, and that's why I can't take a joke. Typical narc. I tried to explain to him through text that the matter is about respect and sensitivity towards the other party, but he refused to listen and said there's no point in arguing with you and make a big fuss out of small things, and why don't you go back to your mom's house to stay? I told him why can't he let his ego down for once and reflect on this issue that has been occurring for so many times, and that he always brushes it off by saying we need to talk so much. What now? I'm confused. Am I making a big fuss out of it? So what? Is it my fault? Yes, it's your fault for staying. Yep, that's 100% on you. You see what you got here is a fool. He don't give a shit about you. Nothing he said here is about caring about you, and yet you keep hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. I don't understand what's wrong with you. Calling you names, telling you to get out. You know, there's no point in arguing with you. That why don't you go back to your mama's house? You know, you a stupid bitch, you crazy, all this kind of stuff. He don't want to hear what you got to say about nothing. I mean, what is it that you call a relationship here? This is just a bunch of hot mess and stupidity. Just nonsense. I can't with you. As long as you decide that you want to stand and you trying to argue with him and explain and all this old shit, that motherfucker knows full well what he's doing. He knows it's hurting you, and guess what? He don't give a shit. So he's gonna keep doing it because you sit there and take it like a dummy and want to text him about it and all that stuff. How many times have you done that over 3 years? Don't you think if it was gonna change and stop, it would have happened by now? But now you're going to stay another year or two and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse because he has no respect for you at all because he sees you have none for yourself. You don't value yourself. You don't even respect yourself. You don't treat yourself well. You don't expect other people to treat you well. And you take shit like this and you want to call it a relationship and write to me about what you should do and are you being too sensitive? Not only does he not care, he gives no fucks at all. None. Not even half of one. Question number 12, female, 30 to 36 out of Santa Clara. That's not too far from here. My husband has befriended a woman who is the sister of his friend. Okay, so his friend says, okay. She calls him often and sends him text messages to ask how he's doing or if he's working hard or to tell him that she is bored. I told him I wasn't comfortable with her calling so much, and he said there was no reason to be worried. The more she called, the more I would get angry at her because she knew I didn't like it, and I'd get angry at him for allowing it. Just recently, I finally exploded after asking nicely for months for him to tell her to stop calling and to call her own boyfriend when she was bored. He did call it with me present and told her I was having a problem with them talking and it wasn't him. Oh, is that what he did? He then thanked her for being understanding. When he hung up the phone, he was very upset over what he had just told her. He acted as though I just destroyed the best friendship of his life, but I thought that's what I was for. Was I wrong? No. Why are these women doubting themselves? Your husband is a dusty fucker. Okay, this bitch, this friend of his sister, is a dusty bitch. And so, and his friend, trying to befriend her, he's supposed to intervene and say, look, sister, that's my friend. He's married. Don't be fucking around sending him texts and shit like that, getting his wife upset. What the hell are you doing? He's my friend and I respect him and his marriage, and you need to do the same. Now, that's what he's supposed to tell his sister, but he's dusty too. A bunch of dusty people with no morals and no values. So, you all in the 30 to 36 age group, there's two ways that this could be handled. Number one, you find you a male friend and you start having him call you and texting you and you giggling, staring at the phone and stuff and like fight fire with fire. That would be my personal approach and I would have already done it. Um, and then, or the second thing is like, okay, since I see that you don't understand what it is to be loyal, you don't understand how this is over the verge of a lack of commitment and focus on the marriage that you have with me. You seem to think that you'd be more upset about this woman, me telling you to tell her not to call my husband than you are about how it impacts your wife and your marriage. So let me tell you what we're gonna do. On Monday, we're going to a divorce lawyer and we're gonna get a divorce. So that you can talk to that bitch as much as you fucking want to, 24 fucking hours a day. That's what you're gonna be able to do. So make sure you're gonna pay your child support and you're gonna pay me any alimony I do. We're gonna split this house 50-50, and you can go on your fucking merry way and I'm gonna go on mine. Since you don't seem to value what we have here and you sort of think that I'm going to take this kind of disrespect and stay married to your fucking ass, that's not going to happen, sir. That's what I would tell his fucking ass. Now, see, my thing is, when you get older, you can just see. People be like, oh, you should work and try to save your marriage and you should do this. One person can't do that by his or herself. It's impossible. You got to have two people rolling up their sleeves working on them, keeping your marriage tight, your, intimacy up, your sexuality in the bedroom and all this stuff up. It takes two people. Okay, now you got one who's getting all that outside the marriage and gets mad at the wife for wanting him to keep it in the marriage. See, that to me is over. It's over. There's no coming back from that. The way he is treating his wife is so utterly disrespectful, and it shows her that he has no regard for her and her feelings in their marriage at all. So, see, now that I'm older, I can read that. I can see that. There's nothing that they can do here to fix this. He's made his choice, and it's this woman over here. His wife don't mean shit to him. So he would have to go over there, and I would be done. And that's just the way it would be. Because I'm not going to argue with you about trying to make you love me and make you respect me. We don't do that. You can't make a man do that. He either does it because he feels it or he doesn't, ladies. So all this chasing around, calling, making him call people and say these things and write letters and close social media accounts and I'm going to go with him everywhere and he's only going to have 2 drinks when he's not with me and all these things that we've been hearing later from these letters, these women go through all these changes. That's not what you do. You'd have a man who's not honoring and respecting you and your relationship, especially if you're married. You've taken vows with this motherfucker. It's not like you just kicking it, dating or whatever. You're married, and this is how he chooses to operate. Your marriage is meaningless. And that's the part I think a lot of women just don't want to understand. They don't want to get it. Yeah, you see it coming, girl. And you understand what certain behaviors mean, like as far as the big picture. It's like she's young, right? So she's looking at, oh, this he needs to stop talking to this woman. That's not the big. That's just a symptom of the disease. The disease is that your marriage is over because this is how he chooses to, and he wants to do it, even though you told him that it's disturbing to you. So if his wife is important to him, he would stop anything that made his wife feel uncomfortable or unhappy, right? That felt like a threat to his woman, right? Because he wants her to feel comfortable and safe, right? But if you have a man who's not doing that, it's because he doesn't give a shit. Well, then you should know what time it is and understand that means that your relationship, your marriage is over. Okay? And there's nothing, no amount of therapy and all of that's going to change it. Yeah. So he acted as though I just destroyed the best friendship of his life. You see what I'm saying? And that's how he acted to his wife. Oh no, bitch, you get to have him. I'm done. It's a wrap. Come get him. Yeah, well, she's young. Like I said, she's in the 30 to 36 age. She's probably 30, 31 and don't really understand what's going on. But hopefully now she'll have a clue. This is question number 13. Female, 30 to 36 out of New York. I'm a 37-year-old woman from New York City. I have been dating a man that I met in one of the brunch meetups that I attend regularly. Ooh, that sounds like fun. We kept popping up on the same events frequently, started flirting, and then started dating. He is well employed, well put together, articulate, never married, childless, and our personalities match like butter on hot toast. He pays for all our dates and is never cheap. He also has a great personality and keeps me laughing. My red flag is this. We got into a conversation about, quote, the craziest sexual thing you ever did. Oh, why do you guys want to have that conversation? I know from listening to you to never tell them about your past, so I made up something really vanilla. When it was his turn to reveal, he told me that he had engaged in a gang eggplant party that he found out about from an ad he answered in the no strings attached section on Craigslist. He said it was the first time he ever did that. It was one woman and five guys. He said there was no gay stuff. They just stood around waiting their turn and drinking beer. He found out that this is an underground circuit that does these parties regularly, always the same scenario. He did it one more time after that, he says, but says he realized it was too much and stopped. I was in shock. I didn't even know what to say. He claims the women were willing participants and into it and that they were of age. Thing is, I can't look at him the same anymore. We had a few more dates, but I don't want an eggplant with him anymore because I think he's reckless, although he always uses protection and claims that was just an aberration on his part. I'm cooling off on him and it might break it off. I just can't get it out of my brain. Do you think I'm making too much of it or what? Aside from that one thing, this appears to be a great guy. He's a very responsible person and checks all the good boxes. Your insight would be valued. He is 38, by the way, and did this 4 years ago. Thanks. Okay, 4 years ago. So he was 30, what, 4. That's plenty old enough to know how raggedy, nasty, and risky that is. And he gonna go over there and just miscellaneously struck fuck somebody from a newspaper. I don't know about you. I mean, it's great that he matches all those other things, but see, to me, that speaks to someone's values and morals. A man who would stand around with his dick with other dudes waiting to bone somebody in a line to see that's no. I'm with you. I'm with you. I just, I couldn't be bothered with that. I'm just like, that's not my thing. It would be the same like somebody saying that they, do stuff with kids or they like, to be tied up and beaten and peed on or something. I mean, we all have our limits. That steps over mine. Okay, I just know that wouldn't be some because the next he's gonna want to be trying to reenact them scenes and have you be that girl with the five dudes. You know what I mean? There's something that's a problem here. Um, no, she didn't. She found him in a meetup group. I don't know where Lady Boss is. I haven't seen her. Maybe she forgot. But this would not be working for me. So I'm with you. I would be declining this little situation. It's nice that he checks all these good boxes. It's nice that he's a good age, and all these other things are really nice. But to me, like I said, that speaks of an aberrant personality and someone who does very weird things and think that's okay. Yeah, I don't. Right. That's well. You assume that they use of course they use condoms. Can't hide from it. It's not like they're gonna be doing all this raw. They use protection. You know how that is. But that's not the point. The point is this lining up thing. See, that shows like a weird mentality about women and sex and stuff. That's really a bad combination. So I'd have to get rid of him too, and know you're not being too what did you call it? Are you being too uh are you making too much of it? That was your question. Nope, not at all. It speaks to his personality and a whole bunch of more things that he would do something like that. Yeah, and then went back and did it again. I have a feeling he probably did it more than two times. I mean, I'm sure he did stop at some point, but what would make you do something like that in the first place? And what else was you looking for on the back page of Craigslist in that section? What drew you there? How did you get there? What gave you that idea? Well, why did you do that? You see what I mean? I have questions, and it's like to me that's not normal. to go and look in the newspaper for somebody to bone and just go do some freaky shit like that. You don't know what kind of diseases them people have. You walking into a trap, they gonna rob you and kill you. I mean, what? Are you gonna be the person? Then they gonna switch it up and decide that you cuter than the girl? I mean, as a dude, I'd be, wondering because these days you just never know. But he's really weird, and so you need to cut that loose. There's something wrong with him. His, like I said, his perception of women and sexuality for someone to do something like that is really odd. And I just wouldn't. Yeah, he admitted to twice, but I think it's more than that because no. Question number 14. I don't even know really what to say. Notice I'm stumbling for words. I don't even know what to say because you good because I you went out a few more times. I would have been standing up being like, "Oh, you nasty dick motherfucker! I can't be bothered with you. You're a pervert," and I would be out. It would be just that like that because I can't hold water when it comes to stuff like that. I just have to say what I feel, and he would have got it that day right there. Question number 14. Let's move on. Female 26 to 29 out of Oregon. My father is my guarantor for the apartment complex that I'm currently living in. He's been using this as a way to get me to be his guarantor for a $500,000 loan. And he doesn't understand the difference between $918 a month rent on a 12-month lease is not equal to a $500,000 loan and a 30-year payment. I'm barely creating credit. So he had to co-sign for me to get an apartment to live near my first out of college job that is in a different state. I've only been living in this place for a few weeks and got my friend be interested in being my roommate. There are 2 bedrooms in the apartment and my friend would like to have his name on the lease. The question is, how can I remove my father from being my guarantor? It's caused a lot of issues with my family and me. The reason he wants me to co-sign, even though he was accepted for the loan, the previous time based on his credit is because the bank will know that we can pay it off since my salary can cover the amount in under 10 years. He's unable to understand that even though I have an excellent paying job, I can't co-sign on a loan when I'm barely starting to make my credit history and starting to live barely on my own. It hasn't even been a month since I moved out. I don't need this money for financial reasons and have set up automatic monthly payments on the apartment complex. Okay, what you do is talk to the people that own the apartment. Tell them that you want to figure out what you need to do to get him off. Usually, what they're going to want is like extra deposit. That usually does it. So, say they normally ask for, I don't know, just say 1 month's rent. Tell them that you will give them 3 months' rent and they want him to take his name off the thing. So then you ante up 1 more month and your friend that's coming in, have him put up 2 months' rent. So then that'll be the 3 months plus whatever you already gave them, right? So they probably have like 4 months of prepaid rent that they can use, which will be their solid guarantee of you paying the rent, because that's all they want is to make sure they're going to get their money. So once you give them that money, then they will take his name off. You guys can sign a new lease, and then you'll be out of it. That's how they do. They just want their money. So you talk to them about an option to give them a cash deposit in lieu of this guarantor, and they'll go for it. That's all. They'll go for it. And now, how can you? Okay, so you can remove him from the guarantor. So then the next question is, he's unable to understand. No, he understands very well. I don't. Women, y'all kill me with this. They don't understand. They understand very well. I don't understand why you don't understand that. They understand everything, but they ain't trying to hear that though. They're trying to get you to do what they want you to do, and y'all be keep coming up with this. Well, he doesn't understand. The fuck he don't understand. What is he, stupid? He understand how to try to milk $500,000 out of his daughter. And for you to barely creating credit, you ain't gonna get no $500,000 loan. I know he's dreaming. You might get a $5,000 loan, but you ain't gonna get no $500,000 loan. And you just now starting off in credit and only been at your job for a few weeks and barely, you know what I mean? It's not gonna happen the way he's imagining that it is. But the bottom line is you need to continue to say no to your father. These parents are just unbelievably dusty. Always trying to use their kids for something. This is something just ridiculous. I've never heard of such nonsense. It makes me feel like, where have I been living that I didn't notice this kind of stuff was going on? No, he wants to do what he needs to do, his own thing. But I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. So hopefully you got a couple of paychecks, right? And so you can, have some money, and your dude that wants to move into the other room, he should be able to have some money. So you guys gonna work that out with your leasing company, and you're gonna sign a new lease that don't have nothing to do with your daddy, and then you'll be set, be all right. Question number 15, female 26 to 29 in Brooklyn. My whole family's mad at me. My aunt gave my aunt gave me my late aunt's car, so that was her sister, when I got my driver's license. I wanted to wait and buy my own car because I couldn't afford insurance where I live in Brooklyn. My grandfather told me he would help and pay 6 months of my insurance if I took the car, so I said, all right. I paid this high ass $2,000 policy and registered the car and asked for reimbursement I was promised. My grandfather told me no because my grandmother said I'm getting a free car, so they're not giving me a dime. I get the car and right away I notice how small it is. I hadn't ridden in that car since I was a kid. It's a tiny ass two-door coupe. My kids would argue over who sits in the back. I said, okay, I'm going to sell it. My aunt flipped on me and said, it's a gift. I'm not allowed to sell her sister's car. I said, fine. 30 days after I get the car, the engine dies. I'm freaked out because at that point I put a lot of money into repairing the car because they left it sitting since she died. Yeah, you got to get it flushed out and all that stuff. I'm stranded in Atlantic City with my kids. The tow man took it to the mechanic. He suggested replacing the engine. I called my family for help. They told me because the car holds a lot of sentimental value. I told them I can't afford a new engine. They refused to help me and told me to fix it or junk it. So I fixed it, paid $1,750. I've had nothing but problems since. The mechanic told me to just junk it. Okay, so let me keep a tally here. Okay, so you paid $2,000 for insurance. Okay, but you was gonna have to pay insurance anyway. And then but maybe not so much because this is like a collector's item car. They charge more. Then you pay $1,750, so you out almost 4 grand. So I've been shopping for a car, okay? You came out and there was a boot on the car, so it cost another $185 and $185 for the tow, and they slapped a $150 ticket on it. And so I told them to keep it. Fast forward, I go to Jersey and buy a car. I find my dream car. That car is badass. I got so many compliments from men who said my car is a bad bitch. Okay. I've been feeling myself. I'm happy. I'm glowing. I'm on cloud nine. The car payments are manageable. I go to my grandparents' house to show them my new car. My grandfather told me to leave. My damn aunt near tried to fight me. She cussed me out and got right in my face, told me to bring her sister's car back. I'm an ungrateful bitch. When I saw her, she dead ass acted like she wanted to square up on me for not getting that car back. My mother said I'm wrong for letting the car get taken away. If the car held so much sentimental value, why wouldn't they help me fix the damn engine? They can't even let me enjoy my new car. They call me all kinds of bees. Where was all this crying, snotting, and emotional BS when that shit needed an engine? And my aunt said, that's your problem, and hung up on me. Not only did she not give a fuck about me junking it, they left us stranded in the middle of the night in New Jersey. We had to take a damn Greyhound bus back home. I don't feel like I'm wrong. You're not. You're not wrong at all. The only thing that you did wrong was driving over there bragging about your new car. And see, what you were supposed to do is stick to your guns. You didn't want the car. The car's too small for you and all your kids. Why did you even take the damn car? You know the car was old, been sitting around. You have to put money into a car when it's been sitting like that. They usually need new what you call them, hoses. They have to get all kind of stuff systems flushed out. They got to get a new battery. They need oil change, transmission change, oil fluid change, brake fluid change. All them hoses and belts got to be changed. You put a whole bunch of money into a piece of car that you really wasn't even suitable for your needs because you have too many kids. That was stupid. Okay, that was dumb. Yeah, she wrote just like a whole fucking book. But so put $4,000 into a car that you don't even have anymore. I don't understand what you was thinking. I guess your insurance was transferable to the new car, but still. No, you weren't wrong. And, stick to your guns. Every time they bring up that car and say, well, you should have kept that fucking car then. Or when I asked you for the help, you left me and my kids stranded in New Jersey in that bitch. Not one of you motherfuckers said shit about that. But you want to be mad now because I got a different car? That's what I should have done in the first place and never took that bitch ass car. That's what I would tell them. You and that fucked up ancient history piece of shit trying to dump that shit on me and then gonna be having me spending my money and try to dictate and tell me what I need to do about it. And you don't want to put in a dime, but you want to tell me what I need to do with my money. You could take that car and shove it up your ass. How about that? All y'all take a piece. Bumper, grill, headlights, and shove it up all your asses. That's what you could do. I don't give a fuck about that car, and you gonna keep talking. I'm not gonna give a fuck about you either. Keep it up. You know, she didn't say what year was the car, but somebody died and it was her car, and so it had alleged sentimental value. But you know, if she got sentimental value, then you keep that bitch. It don't mean shit to me. You know? Oh, Lordy. Question number 16. Female, 26 to 29 from the UK. Wait, let me see how long is this. My husband and been together for 8 years. We're young with 2 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. He works full time. Things have been stressful. We live in a fixer-upper house. We don't have enough money, not enough time together. We're very involved in our church, and our kids involved in the children's ministry. The pastor's our age. She's in a relationship, but her boyfriend lives an hour away. My kids are close to her, and I started a friendship with her as well. Okay. About 3 weeks ago, my husband been texting this pastor asking for, quote, advice on his depression. Wait a minute, I thought she was the children's minister pastor. What's she know about depression? I happened to see she was a recent contact on his phone, and I asked him, so he immediately lied. And then about an hour later said, okay, I was. When I confronted the children's pastor, she played the oh, he didn't tell you card, but said they had only talked a few times. Long story short, I found that they texted a ton and then delete the messages, so I can't see what it's about. They also talk on the phone for 30 minutes at a time, about 10 times. I pulled our phone record. Okay, Inspector Clouseau. I told the children's pastor, please don't contact him again. She said if I saw him in the grocery store, I would tell you, but she denied it. I'm sorry, I lied to you, and blah, 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 blah. Now my husband says he's extremely depressed. Um, and nothing makes him happy anymore except our kids. He has completely checked out from me. He will barely talk to me. He's temperamental and doesn't care that I'm upset. Won't really talk about the state of our marriage other than we will go to counseling. I can't focus on us until I fix me. Hmm. Why the deleting? Why the lies? My husband likes like a different person since I found out that they were texting. He has cheated before and I gave him a second chance. Okay, but see, there you go. And the pastor knew this and felt she should have told me. Oh, and then her husband says, why is marriage sex only with one man and one woman? Why would she leave that out when I asked her about it originally? Okay, so she's so lost. You ain't lost. You just don't want to do what you know you need to do. This is what I would do. First of all that evidence that you pulled, I would march right down to church and I would throw it on the pastor's desk and say, your children's minister is a hoe. Look at what she's doing to my marriage. I would bust her ass out. Because if I'm a suffer bitch, your ass is going to suffer right along with me. Then I would seek an attorney and then I would get a divorce. But I'd have to destroy her first. Because you're not going to play me like that. I'm going to fuck you up. And then I'm going to make sure the newspapers get wind of it and your face is plastered all over the front page. And so everybody know what a hoe you are up in the church house. I would wear her fucking ass. There wouldn't be shit she could say because the evidence is there. And what people don't understand is, when you text somebody, even the police can always get it. Subpoena. And like in a divorcing case, especially in those states where you used to have to, it's not where they don't have what they call it, irreconcilable differences where you have to have adultery and stuff, then your attorney can subpoena those records and every single word of them texts will show up because there's a record of it with your cell phone carrier. You can delete it off your phone, but it's still in their databases. And your attorney can subpoena that and print it out. And then you can go and give it to the judge and say, this is why I want a divorce right here. And it won't be shit that she can say. Because she's a hoe. Messing with somebody else's marriage and using the church as cover. But your husband is a joke. And so you need to just figure out what you're going to do about child support and alimony or whatever and just move on from this because you're fighting a losing battle. He's not interested in being married to you. Female, question number 17 rather. Female, 21 to 26 out of Detroit. My boyfriend and I live in a rooming house filled with addicts and mentally ill people. Girl, you need to get rid of that dust bucket. He freaked out at me for not wanting to give him our Wi-Fi password. Not wanting him to give our Wi-Fi password out. If we did, everyone would have it. I feel like a bit of a bitch, but I pay everything from rent to groceries to bills. He pays for nothing. Was this the right thing to do, or am I being really a bitch? No, you're being stupid. Oh my God. You're being stupid because now here you are. Thanks, Natural. Here you are with a dusty that don't have nothing and got you living in an addict house and you paying all the bills for this dust bucket. Just like, I wish I would. I don't even want to buy a motherfucker a popsicle, so you know this would not. This is just unbelievable. Um, but you know what you could do? You could change your Wi-Fi password every day. That's what I would do, because he would be like giving it out, on the under, and he would do that. But I'm gonna change it every fucking day. That's what I'm gonna do, because it's mine. I paid it. I paid for it. It's mine. As a matter of fact, you're not even gonna have it. It's for me, because I pay for it. But you run. Why don't you move out? You in a rooming house filled with addicts and mentally ill people. Go down there and find some place where you could live with some women that got some damn sense. A crack house, well, something, them rooming. You know how they release people from those programs and stuff, and they have to live on their own for a while, but they still check in and stuff. That's what it sounds like a halfway house. But addicts and mentally ill people, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Oh my God. I sure wish I had some Hennessy because this wine is not even strong enough to deal with this stuff. All right, question number 18, female, 26 to 29 from Los Angeles. At the mall today with my new boyfriend and my kids. As we walked up to Popeyes, I noticed my ex standing there looking at me in a provocative way. I was very uncomfortable and decided to walk away with my son who wanted food from somewhere else and left my boyfriend ordering his food by himself. My boyfriend was livid when he found out that I left him. He's embarrassed and feels I was being unloyal and should have stayed and ignored the ex and held him tighter. I know that's what I would have expected from him, but I was afraid that there would be a scene or worse of it all, a fight. My boyfriend has embarrassed me in public before, and after he found out to not, fought and after he found out, fought with me in the food court in front of everybody. Obviously, I could have handled the situation better, but how? Get rid of this new boyfriend. How you gonna be fighting with you in the food court about some ex that you didn't want to see? And he mad because you walked away instead of grabbing on his insecure ass to try to show somebody that you don't care about, I got a new man and this and that and blah, 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 blah. You have an affinity for attracting fools and aligning yourself with idiots. Get rid of him too, because he's stupid. How are you gonna be fight causing a scene in the food court about some bullshit like that and you stay with him? You supposed to walk off and leave his ass standing there like, oh no, 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 we're not gonna do this. We're done here. We're done. Well, that's how these young girls do. They bring the kids everywhere with them. Shit, I've heard about them bringing the kids to, on dates with them and stuff. They bring the kids on the date. So I can't with these girls. Question number 19. This is a male over 65 from the UK. Well, it sounded like it was some kind of food court, but, whatever. Let me see. Okay, this is 19 and we got 2021. Okay. I'm in my late 60s and own with no mortgage, a three-bedroom house, and I live on my own. For a number of years until August of 2018, I had a friend as a tenant who shared the house and paid me rent. In August 2018, she moved out and rented privately a two-bedroom flat. Thank you, Irises. The cost of her rent was slash is not covered by the housing benefit she receives, and I agreed to make up the shortfall. This is a loose arrangement with nothing in writing. My dilemma is that now I have met someone else and she would like to move in. However, she is intolerant of the fact that I continue to subsidize another woman who I shared my life with for a number of years. I'm reluctant to stop payments to my friend, even though it is now 15 months since she moved out, because she was particularly helpful to me during a dark period of my life. Conversely, I would like to move on with my life without the arguments that this situation causes. There are no dependent children involved. As I see it, I have three options. Number one, carry on subsidizing my friend and risk losing my current relationship and possibly any future ones. Number two, stop subsidizing my friend and leave her, quote, in the lurch. Number three, find an alternative solution that frees me from the subsidy but enables my friend to carry on where she is. Do you have any advice for me? Yes, get rid of this bitch that you got now. Okay, first of all, you are not married to her. Where's your voice, dude? I know you older and you probably lonely and stuff, but you need to put this bitch in check. Like now, sit her fucking ass down and you say, look here, my money and the fuck I do with it is none of your goddamn business. You don't tell me what to do with my money. Shut up. That's what you need to do. If you want to be part of my situation, then you're gonna learn to shut your mouth and stay in your envelope. What I do with my friends and who I do it with for and spending my fucking money is my goddamn business, not yours. You say one more shit about what I do with my money, bitch, your bitch ass is up out of here. That's what you tell her. And that'll shut her up. She's trying to see how much control she has and you letting her have too much. First of all, what you fucking tell her about it for? It's none of her business. These motherfuckers be talking too much. It's none of her concern what you do and who you help with your money. And if this woman, you feel like a certain affinity and loyalty to her, your ass, you promised her. You don't do it anywhere. You are a piece of shit. You don't do it because of some bitch you just barely met. You're gonna cut off someone who was there for you and sacrificed for you and helped you during your quote dark time, but just because some new booty rolled around, you're gonna let her change your whole program and impact your life and your friendship. You're stupid if you do that. Because if she after she leave, then what you gonna do? Then you're not gonna have this other friend, and you're not gonna have her either. And then you really will be by yourself. You need to understand what is going on. Not this bitch ain't running shit. She ain't running shit but her mouth. He just letting her have too much power. But that's the main thing. Men don't, you got to tell, no, you don't let her tell you shit. It's not her fucking money. It would be different if you all was married and it was community property. But even then, you could set up an account before you get married. You set up a private account and the money would go to subsidize this lady while you look for another option. But don't you keep her hanging. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There has to be some other option that can be done, but you think about it. It doesn't matter. Cherry B, it could be for the rest of her fucking life. He promised. And she sacrificed with him and was there for him. So he need to keep good on his promise. And I don't give a fuck if it's 25 years. Do it. Because that's what you promised. You didn't put no time limit on it. This is what I talk about, though, about people making commitments and honoring, being a person of their word and the word integrity. He promised her that he was going to do that for her. He's been doing it this long without a problem. The only problem is that the new woman wants to have that money for herself. She doesn't want it going to help anybody else. Regardless of the fact that this woman was there and, helped this dude during a period of time when he really needed the support. This new bitch wasn't there. The other woman was there. And so when she crisis passed, she moved out on her own. But she gets a housing subsidy, but it's not enough. So he makes up the difference. He's not paying the whole thing. He makes up the difference. Okay, so that's a small sum. That's a small sum. This is just too much. That's the problem that these men have. I don't care how long it is, Cherry B. Till his death or hers, something. But most likely, she'll find another avenue or something. As he said, he was going to look for some other options. That's fine. Do that. Look for some other options, but don't you dare leave her hanging. And if you can't find any other options, then you're gonna keep up the promise that you made to her. You know. But yeah, if he can find something else to take over that, to make up that difference so that he doesn't have to, fine. I don't care where it comes from. I'm just saying he can't, in good conscience, if he's a person of integrity and a person of his word, let that woman hang and lose her housing. Then what's she gonna do? He promised her, and he needs to make good on his promise. Now, a promise between friends is different. If you're a person of your word, then you don't need a contract. You don't need nothing in writing. And it sounds like he is. He's been doing it fine. The only problem is that this new woman is the one raising the stink. It's not him. Okay, he's very well, he's got his little money and stuff. He's not him. It's her, his new person. Exactly. That's what I'm be looking for men to have integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. Follow through. Be a man of your word. That is integrity. And that is something that I think most women are not used to. So you all want to make excuses for it. Well, how long he got to do it. He going to do it till something else happens. That's how long he going to do it, because he promised that he would not leave her hanging. Okay, so that's all that we really care about. He can find something else to do it. I'm not having a problem with that. But don't you dare stop until you have that other thing in place. Okay, 20 question 20. We got one more after this one. Female 26 to 29 from London. I'm 5 months pregnant, a very difficult pregnancy. I lost a twin at 14 weeks, had a hematoma, so I've been in bed rest and working from home. Oh, so she was pregnant with twins. Now she just got one? Oh, my. My husband's father passed away last Friday, and today is his funeral. It's out of town. As much as I would have loved to be at my husband's side, I chose to stay at home. I had an amnio done on Monday, and I just can't take the risk of losing another baby. He has sent me a string of messages since last night saying it's unacceptable that I'm not there, that I'm selfish, that I'm not the person he thought I was, that there will be consequences on my decision, that when our child is born, he doesn't even want my mother to see her, and that he won't hold back on criticizing them when he feels like it. Oh, your husband is very 5, isn't he? Like a 5-year-old. That there is no need to give our child his surname since I'm not up to honoring his surname myself, that my behavior is shameful and embarrassing, and just now he phoned me from the funeral to tell me that I'm being a fucking bitch for not being there. I'm trying not to get too upset since I'm pregnant. I've tried to be supportive and understand his grief, but now this is getting to be abusive. Is my marriage doomed? Yep. If he's done this now, who's to say he won't leave me soon? Who's to say he won't freak out when the baby comes? I'm honestly shell shocked. Any advice would be welcome. I'm very sad. This is very, very sad and very unfortunate. You're very young. You're 5 months pregnant. The best thing you could do, and I know you're not gonna want to hear this, the best thing you could do is lose this baby. It would be the best solution for everything. Then you could walk the fuck away from this crazy man and his crazy bloodline and his crazy DNA and his mental illness and just be ghost and start over. You're only 26 to 29. You have plenty of years to have another baby in a situation that is a lot more stable. Your husband is a joke. I have never heard of anyone acting like this towards a pregnant woman. It sounds to me like he wants you to lose the baby. He's not ready to be a daddy. And he's using this as an excuse to wage war on you. Now, understand people, I know people are like, that's cold blooded, Deb. Why would you say that? Let me tell you why I'm saying this. If he would say this to you about the baby, how do you think he's going to be talking to the baby? How do you think he's going to be treating the baby? These are the kind of men that get jealous of the attention and the time that you spend with the baby, and the baby ends up abused or worse. That's the shaken baby syndrome. They punch the baby, they throw the baby, they manhandle the baby ends up with broken bones, dislocated shoulders, dislocated hips, all kinds of stuff happens. So you are looking at a very dangerous situation for you to be having a child, and your husband is a nut job. Okay, this is not even remotely close to normal behavior for someone who is grieving and someone who cares about their wife and their unborn child. He don't give a shit about you or that baby. Now, you're sad. You need to accept reality. See, this is the thing that drives me crazy. With women, you guys want to look at what you think and what you want and what you wish it was instead of what it is. And what it is a bunch of shit. I can tell you the best thing you could do is have a miscarriage and be up out of there without him and without any child to tie you to him for him to use against you. This guy is a kook. Well, yeah, to leave but she's in bed rest, so where's she gonna go? You know what I mean? She's worried about keeping the kid. I'd be worried about. I don't want a kid by him because these kind of genes, these emotional, uh, mental, emotional problem people. That shit is genetic. So you have a wild, out of control daddy with emotional issues. He's gonna have a wild, out of control kid with emotional issues, and then you're gonna have a fucked up kid that you got to put on medication and deal with for the rest of your life. Mm-mm. And the kids that they be having on TV where they kick the mother and the mother be locking herself in a room at night because she's scared of the kid. I'd be shooting that little motherfucker. But yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff is genetic. And so you see the signs of it in the daddy. Well, don't you think that what you carrying is going to have a touch of that at least? See, nah. Yep. I make myself fall down some fucking stairs. We're going to take a running leap and Well, this wouldn't work. All right. Question number. Yep, I think you're right. Case Ross is going to escalate because he's threatening her. He's threatening what he's going to do and all this kind of stuff. And he called to tell her that she's a fucking bitch. Okay, see, so he went from all this other stuff. Now he's attacking her. So yeah, she stays with him. This is very sad. Okay, the last question of this crazy advice column for tonight. Oh my God, these people are nutty. Oh, this is a young woman in a 26 to 29 age group out of Michigan. I'm 25 and my husband's 29. We've been together for about 7 years. Around our second year, when I was 19, I was assaulted by two men. It was the most embarrassing and disgusting thing I've ever experienced. I still have buried feelings and emotions about what happened. I think about it often and I hate it. It was a horrible feeling having to explain to my boyfriend what happened to me because I didn't even want him to imagine me with another man, let alone two. I felt low and like I had been promiscuous because of what happened to me. He stayed with me and helped me through the whole emotional process of it. Yes, but something tells me there's a footnote here because otherwise she wouldn't have led with this and this wouldn't be a part of the letter. So, fast forward a few months after that situation, he tells me in a joking way that he's owed a quote, hall pass twice. And he laughs. See, I knew it. Do you guys understand what this man just said to her? Because she was assaulted by two men, he's owed a hall pass twice to go out and screw two women. That's what he's telling her. Did you hear me? Did you just hear this? You know, ooh, I could feel my blood pressure going up. Oh, I didn't get it at first, but I understood quickly after. Oh, I got it right away. I didn't think it was funny, and it hurt my feelings, but I didn't let him know that it hurt, and I agreed with him that he somewhat deserved to cheat, or at least that I had no right to get upset with him if he did. What is wrong with you? What happened to you was a crime. That is nothing that he. What? What is wrong with you? I thought I never really found about his cheating, but I'm sure he did it. I realize now over the years it's been like he's been trying to exploit the fact that I was assaulted to keep doing shit. I felt super uncomfortable with eggplant after a while after it happened. He suggested a threesome to make me more comfortable and boost up my self-esteem. I said hell no at first, but later I agreed. I now regret it because it did nothing for me but make me even more uncomfortable and weird. And before anyone starts, I know I was being dumb as fuck. It's just that I'm just now realizing it. Okay, so what he wanted to do, let me just break this down, is reenact what happened to you so that he could witness it and fantasize about it. That's what he was doing. And your dumb ass, your no self esteem having ass, went along with it because you were so desperate to keep this man. We have went years without bringing up this hall pass. And I honestly stopped even thinking about it. I thought we could move on and be okay since he got it out of his system. But since then, we've gotten married. Now we have a 1 year old. Our marriage has been great besides the regular arguments. Over the years, he's always made me feel loved and protected. I excuse his past behavior maybe as us just being young and dumb. But about 2 weeks ago, he made that joke about the hall pass thing again. But being that lately the situation has been heavily on my mind, I snapped. It really hurts my feelings that he's seriously comparing him cheating to me being forced to do stuff with someone. He told me it was just a joke, but that he honestly does believe he should have a hall pass. I haven't really spoken to him since. This has made me feel uncomfortable with him sexually and emotionally. I don't trust him with my feeling or heart anymore. I already don't have family or friends, and now my only friend and family in this world, my husband, is making me feel alone and like this situation was all my fault. I'm completely turned off by this immature child's behavior. I love him to death, but I don't know where to go from here. I know I sound very dumb and naive, but I am learning. How do I fix this? I'd appreciate any advice. You get a divorce. You never should have married the fucking fool. I don't know what you thought marriage was going to solve. He already showed you what kind of man he was. I'm telling you guys, the very first time they do some stupid shit to you, something disrespectful, they talk to you crazy, they call you names, they do anything that hurts you, and they do it intentionally, you have got to leave them alone. A man who did something on an accident would be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Baby, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, he would be beating himself up because he was just like about to die because he knows he hurt you. But you got this motherfucker who's saying it like a joke, like it's funny. Like he's gonna benefit from it. He's gonna get to get his freaky whatever titillating fantasies from it. You need to get a divorce. You should have never, ever, ever even imagined marrying this man. And talking about you forgave him and you have a good marriage. You could never have a good marriage with a man like this, ever. You had a pseudo whatever while he manipulated you into being with him so he could set you up for this. But he had already told you that this is what he wanted. He already told you how he was and you didn't listen. I hope this is a good lesson. These letters tonight were very, very disturbing. A lot of time, we spent a lot of time laughing. I didn't get to laugh too much tonight. These are very serious, very disturbing letters of young ladies in what they call relationships with men who are out to destroy them in every way possible, mentally, emotionally, and physically with this weird stuff. And then their kids as well. Now, what y'all call a relationship, you need to rethink that. Please listen to the video that we did the other day. What's the name of it? Oh, why do women give men chance after chance after chance? Please listen to that video. I'm going to link it to this one right around in here somewhere up there. And so that you can just click that link and listen to that video. It is the culmination of many, many years of me lecturing women, but instead of it being divided into 30 different videos, it's all in one. So you just listen to that one video and get your shit together. Okay, if you guys keep continuing to accept this kind of nonsense from these guys, you're going to end up roadkill. You have got to get away from them. They don't deserve to be with you at all. At all. Under no circumstances should you be with a man that treats you like this. Oh, yes. Oh my God. This is just, ooh, this is really disturbing. I've been doing this for a long time, but I just really, it's something about the letters tonight, closing out this year. And as long as I've been doing this, it seems, I would be hoping that women would be sharing knowledge and helping get these young girls in gear and, thinking differently. And what it seems like to me what's happening is that relationships are getting worse. They're getting worse. They're getting worse and worse, and women are accepting more and more nonsense from men under the guise of, I love him though, or he says he loves me. Nobody who loves you treats you like this. I don't know what kind of love y'all be having in this situation, but yes, this hope shit. Ooh wee. I guess I'm gonna have to do another video about hope. We did that. It's in the one. Who was that told me it's in the one called? Oh, it's in the video called "Master Your Emotions," where I talked about hope being, just like useless in women. It should be a word that's just eliminated from women's vocabulary. Hope and potential, two words that just destroy women at every opportunity. So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, I'm going to be going up to Joy's. We're gonna try to do something. Hopefully, we won't be too hungover or too drunk, and try to do something on New Year's Day or maybe tomorrow because I'm leaving tonight to go up there. But we'll figure out what we're going to talk about. I don't know yet. We got a lot of things, ideas that we were tossing around. But I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. This is our New Year's Eve celebration for the channel because by the time I see you guys again, it'll be 2020. Okay. But we've had a great year together. I've met a lot of new people. You guys have been great support. I hope I've provided you with a lot of great education this year. We're getting ready for February. We're starting a membership drive, or what they call a subscriber drive, our second one. We're trying to make it to 25,000 this time. So check it out on the community page and, share this little graphic I created. And I'm going to put it on my social media and stuff so you can share from there as well on my Facebook and on Instagram. So it's surviving dating on Instagram, and my Facebook is Deborrah X Cooper. So You guys, have fun, make some great things happen in the next couple of days. Work on your homework that I gave you from the video. Um, chance after chance, there's homework for you to do. Thank you, Serene. And I really want you guys to do better next year, okay? I'm here to help you, but you got to do the work yourself. I can't do that for you. But I love you all. I want nothing but the best for you, and I hope that working together we can make that happen. Deb Cooper signing out in 2019. I'll see you all next year. Bye bye.